are here with another installment for you all, and we're interviewing an amazing couple. So I ran across their story on Facebook. One of my friends shared their story, and I just kind of started reading through it and checking out the page, Sex Can Wait a While, and I was like, I want to talk to this couple because it's not too often that we see couples that are both virgins going into marriage. And I think we need more stories like that. And so I wanted to interview both Jeremiah and Brandi and get their perspective and just hear their story and what their journey is and what God is doing in their lives. And so I'm excited for this. And so Jeremiah, Brandi, are you all ready?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Let's get started. So Jeremiah and Brandi, if you could each separately tell the viewers just a little bit about yourselves, what you're doing, the things, who you are, basically.
You want to go first, B? Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Brandi McCray. I'm 35. I'm a virgin. I'm a praise dancer. I'm a deacon. I'm a storekeeper at a psychiatric hospital. I like cartoons, and I like to eat a lot of cereal.
I'm a cereal eater as well.
My name is Jeremiah Chase. I'm 28 years old. I'm still a virgin. I'm the CEO and founder of Sex Can Wait a While. Started Sex Can Wait a While 2018. Our first event was April 21st. So God just blessed, just put it on my heart. Jeremiah, you start talking about your virginity and start talking about how you deal with women. So we do events about every 3 months. So we start off with Sex Can Wait a While. We really tackle singleness, how to treat a lady, how to treat a man, singleness to marriage, virginity, promiscuity, different types of events, different themes. Musician first. I love being a creator. I love creating things, coming up with new things, ideas to do other things. So, yeah.
Thank you, Jeremiah and Brandi. So how did the two of you meet?
All right. B, you want to go ahead?
Well, no, because your part starts kind of before mine.
All right.
If you didn't do what you did, then I wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah. All right. So, and I tell like a lot of people this that's like single, like you got to start with your vision and your purpose, because people they be trying to like get things that's in a vision and a purpose, but they start nothing yet. Like, what did you start? So, I had just got out of doing like this MLM business, and I was like, oh, okay, God, I want to do a men's talk show. So I started a men's talk show in 2017 in July. Had a big meeting. It was called Gentleman Club Real Talk. This was like before we came up with a name. So I wanted to gather brothers around, like in the room. We're going to talk about issues that men really need to talk about. No sports, not necessarily politics, but some things that's going to build better men. And we did this for almost a year. We did this for. So one day, once we moved our show to like the Urban Arts Gallery, because I was doing it at my house. So shout out to.
So you had all these people at your house?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So well, I had the camera set up and stuff like that. We were just up there. So me and my homies, Devin and Glenn, we all moved to the Urban Arts Gallery. We do the show it was every Monday. So one particular show, I would get to the Urban Arts Gallery early, and I had to this was like the time where I was like doing photography. So I was taking photos for like this play. Like they needed shots for this new play they were doing. So Brandi's friend was one of the actors, her friend Felicia. So Felicia was like, yeah, like I want y'all to come on my talk show, radio show. So I was like, all right, cool. Send me the information. You know what I mean? Like, and we'll connect. So I said, yeah. So add me as a friend on Facebook. So you'll be able to check out our show tonight. So she was like, all right, cool. So she shared the show. Now, a lot of people will share the show and stuff like that. But what I would do is, because I'm a firm believer in like really thanking people, because you don't have to do that, or people don't have to watch. So I would thank everybody that watched the show, and I would ask them. So Brandi was one of those people. So, man, it wasn't nothing. I tell people, I said, look, she was just a random person. You know what I mean? We weren't friends, anything. I just thanked her. And then after that, I think the first time I saw her in person after that, we had spent some time. We were just chilling. I probably hit her up from one now and again because I thought she was cool. You know what I mean? That I would do this with anybody else.
Right.
I thought she was cool. So then we ended up exchanging phone numbers. Now, same thing. I would do this with anybody else, like anybody else. So she the first time we saw each other in person was when now look, I think Brandi invited me somewhere. She did invite me somewhere, and I didn't show. I didn't come. It was like she was dancing somewhere or whatever. I was like, oh, all right, you know what I mean? But I didn't come. So she was like,
Friend, you did.
It was something. It was a place where you told me that you were dancing at. It was one event.
So
you gave me multiple flyers.
When do I come in on this story? Because you didn't pass up my time.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead and mess it up.
So
go ahead and mess it
when
up.
the show was shared, that's when I came in. And because my best friend shared his show, I saw him and 3 of his friends. I didn't even know which one he was because at the time his profile picture was like 3 guys. So I didn't even know who I was talking to. Like I just, we ended up talking through Facebook, and then when he finally video called me, that's when we started to engage in conversation and stuff. So
you were communicating on Facebook?
Yeah, because for one.
That's how we met.
Yeah, I'm not that one to give my number out at all.
Right.
Like, it's like, oh, well, if you found me on Facebook, this is where we're going to stay on Facebook.
Right. That's awesome. Okay, so as you all can see, we're on 3 different video chats. So, Jeremiah, where are you?
I'm in Philly. I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Philadelphia. And Brandi, where are you?
I'm in New Jersey, Cumberland County.
Okay, so awesome. So you all have been dating long distance for the entirety of your relationship?
Courting.
Courting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, courting. Like, we don't believe in dating.
Okay. Now explain to me the difference between courting and dating.
All right, cool.
Your definition.
Well, in a nutshell, dating is just an appointment, but courtship is actually like the intention to marry somebody.
Okay. Awesome. And how long have you all been courting?
We've been courting. We started courting March 9th last year. I proposed in August. So by the time I proposed, I was, what's that? March, April, May, June, July, August. We were courting for 5 months by the time I proposed. So,
wow. So you knew pretty early on that like you wanted to, because you came in with the intention already with the mindset of marriage, correct?
Right. Yeah. So like during me and Brandi's, me and Brandi, we were friends for a year.
Oh.
We were friends for a year. So by the time the courtship happened, in our friendship, Brandi already knew that the next young lady that I was going to even kiss on the lips, because kissing women in the lips was my struggle, right? So she already knew that I wasn't kissing nobody in the lips. We were just straight friends. All my friends knew this. All my female friends knew this. You know what I mean? All my guy friends knew this. So it's just like she knew that nobody else, like I wasn't dealing with nobody unless I was going to marry them. Yeah. So the whole boyfriend and girlfriend thing, that became dead to me in like 2016. So she I kind of lost what I was about to say.
So
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Brandi.
So we when we became friends, there was no romantic intentions at all.
Mm-hmm.
We literally became like family. Like
Yeah.
we, like it was a brother and sister. Like, and then with age, because I am 35, I was certainly not interested in anybody 8 years, nothing. So, especially before my time, like how you back there, or after me, actually, you after me, and I'm like 30 something, like I wasn't looking back there. I'm trying to look forward. So,
Right.
it was a really organic friendship that we had that eventually did blossom into something where we had grew feelings deeper than friends with. But because Jeremiah introduced me to courting, even when we decided that we were going to exchange our feelings with each other, letting us, each other know that we still, that we had friends, feelings past friendship, we still
Right.
decided to stay friends because, like Jeremiah said, we didn't believe in dating. So
Mm-hmm.
we decided to still keep the boundaries of being real friends, even though we had feelings for each other, until God allowed us to start courting. So we kept a
Yeah.
lot of things in prayer. We kept our friendship connected in a godly foundation as well. A lot of people don't really feel like friendships need godly foundations. They only think that, relationships and people in
Right.
love need godly
That's
foundation.
good.
Nothing's going to last without God being a foundation of anything. So that's where the development came into, when we started to really decide, like, okay, we're going to court, we're going to do it the right way, and we're going to let God continue to move us in the pace that he wants us to move in.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So, wait, at what point in the relationship, or sorry, in the friendship, did you all express your feelings for each other?
That was January 2018.
Okay. So in January 2018. So but you all got engaged last year, right?
Yeah,
Last
we got
summer.
engaged last year.
So wait, in January 2018, you expressed that you had feelings for each other, and then waited until March 2019 to start courting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we stayed friends.
Wow.
We stayed friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
So like,
awesome.
yeah, like even like even even like during that time, like I know, like I felt discouragement. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
not just about that. Just as like as a man, I feel like discouragement is like really heavy, like on men. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like even back to just on another. I don't want to get off topic, but you know what I mean? Just like some biblical stuff. Just like I feel like men, we can get discouraged sometimes. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
during that time, it was just like, all right, cool, because I was at a point where I said, God, look, before I say something to Brandi, I don't want. I said, look, now I'm okay with being her friend. I remember I told Brandi, I said, look, then this was before anybody even said anything. I told her, this was like when our friendship was like still like a little fresh, and I told her, I said, look, whoever your husband is, I said, for whatever reason, if God just has us stop being friends, just for whatever reason, how some people they drift apart or whatever, and
Right.
some people are like, yo, oh yeah, she was cool, I haven't talked to her in a while, one of them type times. I told her, I said, then you know how you supposed to be treated, because you know what, I remember Jeremiah treated me like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the standard. Like, you should be a gentleman to your mom, to your sisters, and every other woman out here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even if they ugly. You know?
Right.
Wow.
I mean, ugly girls need love too.
Right. Jokey joke.
I don't say ugly, I say unfortunate looking, but I mean, everyone has.
Dang, that's worse.
I think ugly's worse, no?
Unfortunate looking or ugly. All right,
I
we
feel
gonna
like
do a poll.
everybody has a preference. Like, I mean, with some people may find unfortunate looking or ugly. Somebody else might be like, that's me. Like, I don't. unfortunate was so funny. I'm using that.
I mean,
Hilarious.
I thought I was like softening it up a little bit, you know?
No, it's not soft.
I was trying to help. I don't know.
It made it even funnier.
Oh, okay. Well, that's my word. I mean, I say unfortunately. Oh gosh, that was funny.
That was.
Now, Jeremiah, when you were saying about the whole discouragement thing, so like what were you discouraged about? And when you're talking about discouragement with men, like what are you saying?
So I've never brought anybody to God before. I've never brought a woman to God before. When I met Brandi didn't notice at the time. I asked my Heavenly Father, who was she in my life? I did. I asked him, and I've never asked God for permission to engage with a woman.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So don't you know how like a man has to ask her father for her hand? So I asked my Heavenly Father. I asked him first. So I'm just like, yo, I really got to do things different. I'm not trying to do things like my way. I said, God, I really need you to orchestrate this thing. So I'll always talk to God, and he will always show up through actions and stuff like that. God don't always, I know for me, he don't always talk back to me. You know what I mean? It's like by the time I hear God's voice, it's probably like sometimes I may be like in trouble or something like. So I listen to, I look for like the other signs. And I remember being discouraged. So and this is what I really share this story because okay, cool. Like if you don't know, then fast and pray. And I fasted and I prayed, and Brandi knew I was fasting and I prayed. Cause you remember when I met up with you in that mall and I asked you, I said, look, how did you know? I said, how did you know? So Brandi told me what she said, and then I was just like, I was still like, it's not like I didn't know, but it was just like, I ain't gonna say I didn't know. I just felt like, yo, you know what I mean? Like I've never been in this situation before. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna take it to God. And then look, look, trust me, I've been through some things. So it's just like, at the end of the day, I was okay with releasing her. I wasn't gonna hold her hostage from nobody else. I was gonna release her, and that's something that we need to learn. No, if this person not the one, then release them. So what I had to do is I remember God brought this to remembrance to me when I was praying and fasting. I think it was probably one of the last days I prayed and fasted. And he was like, yo, like I never told you no though. He said, I never told you no. So that's why I was like, yo, it's crazy. Then after that, after God confirmed that, some things we still need faith and need to trust in God in. There's some things that I wanted as a man. At the time, I had a car. Like now, I don't have a car. It was some things that men, we want all this stuff. And then, okay, God, now let me find the wife so I can put her in the stuff that I got because I'm ready now. God don't work like that. Not for everybody. You know what I mean? It's some building that you may have to do together. You know what I'm saying? So God is like, yo, just trust me. Every time I got discouraged, even with our friendship, because I was going through some things mentally about, okay, pursuing her. She ain't know none of this. God kept saying, yo, just trust me. Just trust me. And he's never said that about anybody else. I promise you. He's never said, just trust me. Because I ain't had to trust him for them. Where they at? Where they at? You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was crazy. So, like I took that leap. I trusted in God. And then after that, it was curtains. I mean, phone calls of people like, yo, Jeremiah, yo, like this song came to my heart. He was like, yo, like, yeah, so like when you get married, and this is the time I was already looking for the ring. And that was so crazy. Like God kept confirming. He just kept, he was like, yo, I am who I am. He just kept confirming. It was a wrap after that. It was curtains.
That's awesome. Now with the whole age thing, because it's so interesting, if a man is dating a woman that's 7 years younger, it's not that big of a deal. But when it's the reverse and it's a woman that's, or you said 8 years, 7 or 8, how many?
8 years.
8 years older, you know, then it's like, it seems like this big, huge difference when it's not that big of a difference when it's a, you know, the reverse situation. So in terms of the age difference, how did that affect you guys? Like maybe kind of pumping the brakes on even wanting to move forward, because, you know, that's technically, I guess, a big age difference, you know, for your courtship.
I think our compatibility kind of just like pushed the age thing like smooth off the table. Because we connected in so many areas. Like, you know, sometimes you can come across something and be like, oh yeah, I forgot he's like 12. But there was never a moment like that between me and Jeremiah. Like Jeremiah was like the homie. So it was like we just connected right away. And there's even times now where had it been for our ministry, with our courtship or the interviews that we do, I literally will forget, like, oh yeah, we do got a little space between our age, but you can't tell because our chemistry just be bomb. Like I don't feel like I'm with a younger man. Like I just feel like I'm with a man of God, and that's what I wanted.
Right. Awesome. That's awesome. And I think that's so amazing because I think sometimes we allow certain things to be obstacles for us that aren't really obstacles just because of, you know, what we think the other people will perceive it as, or what will it look like to other people if they know, you know, you're dating someone that's younger. So I think it's awesome that you all, you know, push past what I think a lot of it's perception. Because, you know, I mean, I don't know of a lot of couples. I'm sure there are a lot, but of couples where the woman is older than the man. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So now go ahead.
If I may, see, this is I'm like, look, Idris Elba like 17 years older than his wife. Sarah Jakes Roberts is like 15 years younger than her husband.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just like, when I post a joint and talk about some 28-year-old virgin, soon to be 36-year-old virgin, you know what I mean? They talking about, oh, and it's always the women. Oh, but I just can't get over the age difference. Bye, girl. If Idris pulled up and he wanted to marry your 10-year-old daughter, you gonna let him? Stop playing.
That is hilarious. I mean, I would hope it wouldn't be the 10-year-old daughter, but maybe the 30-year-old. Oh my gosh. So now with this, when you all came together, because I heard you say that, you know, Jeremiah, you as men, I've heard it said so many times where men want to have certain things in place before they start pursuing a woman or start even thinking about marriage or thinking about starting a family. But I'm trying to, I'd maybe have to have a men's conversation about, you know, why do men feel like they have to have all of that? Because a lot of times, like you said, I believe a lot of things come together when two people come together. There are things that you build as you come together. And I think we get this perception where a man's supposed to have all these things, have a house to put you in and all these things. But if a man has a plan and you have something where you're building, then I think it's perfectly okay for two people to come together and everything not be completely in place. So, you know, speak to the fact that men can still not have what we think all together and still pursue a woman.
Yeah, it's just all about getting out of your own way. And stop being intimidated by these women if they got more than you. Like, I was dealing with a young lady where she had her own business and real nice car. Like, I was like, yo, I gotta marry you. Like, yo, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was like two peas in a pie. Like, I thought that was gonna be my wife. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, this is dope. You know what I mean? Like, but it was just like, yo, like, and then I remember me telling her, I said, look, I know you have these things, but I told her this. I said, I know what God has promised me. I said, and you don't intimidate me. It was nothing. It was nothing. It was nothing because what goes through my brain alone, like, I'm confident in myself. And I'm confident to the point where, okay, cool. I'm writing down ideas and I can sell them to people. I'm like, yo, if you do this and you do that, it'll work. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's about self-confidence. A lot of men are insecure. You know what I mean? A lot of men lack responsibility.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like the responsibility of a man is to be secure. So it's just like, yo, I'm like, yo, okay, cool. If she make more money than you, so what? It don't matter. All right, cool. If she make more money than you, right? Understand this. Say if you're like, y'all got a house and stuff like that. You got to understand, if she makes more money than you and she loses her job, this is the question I have for you. Are you able to hold it down? Are you able to hold it down if she loses her job? If you can't hold it down, okay, cool. Then we got something to work on. You know what I mean? Then I see why you're being secure, because you're not working hard enough.
Right.
But if you can't hold it down, you know what I mean? Like, then that's a problem. But if you can, then what are we worried about then?
Yeah.
Only be worried about if you can hold it down, things go south.
Yeah. And Brandi, you know, as a woman who, you know, were you looking for a man to come with all of those things, or were you okay with the fact that Jeremiah was building?
I think during the time of my singleness, I started to eliminate a lot of what I thought should have been on my list for what I was expecting. So by the time Jeremiah came across my path, I was already okay with things being the way they were, because like what he said when he was asking God about us and things blossoming between us, I was doing the same thing. God had already allowed me to, he gave me permission to be in Jeremiah's life through friendship and progressing into something else. So knowing the fact that I was getting permission from God to be a part of his life, then I was willing to take on however, whatever stage Jeremiah was in. And like, I feel like you said, when couples are able to build together, I think that's something much more appreciated as well. Like, I didn't look at Jeremiah being less of a man because he didn't have everything that he wanted to be equipped with, because the fact that he already had a vision, knowing of what a man is going to be once he does have a family, that's security already. When it's already started in a man's mentality for a woman, like, when we know you got a vision, that's where we want to stand behind you in the vision, because you're doing things to show where you're headed. It's not all just saying it to sound cool. It's the fact that you're proving it and you're showing it. So I found security in just his vision on where he was headed and where God was already showing me he was headed. So I wasn't looking at the list like, you already messed up. You 8 years younger. Get out of here.
Right.
Hold up, but look, B, we want to know what was on the list, though. What was on the list?
I didn't have one. I didn't even have one. I didn't.
And I think you said
I wanted me to be with. I never even, it was to the point where I'm like, well, I know what I'm not supposed to be with, and that's everything I was picking. So there was no point in me saying that when he do come, he better. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, I need to have. Like, I can't just be looking at you like, you got everything I need. Like, I gotta come with what's gonna be helping him as well. So I didn't, that was all out the window. I was just going for the ride.
Right. Yeah, and that's awesome. And I think sometimes we eliminate perfectly good men thinking that we want a certain thing, and you get that certain thing, but the rest of it is a mess. You know, a lot of women want, I mean, I talked to a guy very briefly that had everything, making great money, owned 2 homes, all of that stuff. But he made one statement to me that made me run the other way, because he said, I made sure to get everything that I wanted in life so that a woman could never say she helped me get that. And I was like, ooh. That's not nice. I was
Oh,
like,
That's
nah, I'm
crazy.
good. So
He
you
don't
know
need to
your
help me then.
yeah.
right.
He don't
You
need to
don't
help
need
me. He good,
he's
right?
good. Yeah. So he was
Then what am
great. So
I
I
here
was
for?
like, oh, since you're good, I'm good. I'm out of here.
Right.
So you know, there's a lot of things that we think we want. And I think it's so awesome how sovereign God is. Like he literally knows everything and knows like exactly what we need and exactly what it's going to require.
Mhm.
So I think it's awesome that you guys came into this journey the way that you did. And also how God, I think, tears down things that can become idols in our lives. Like sometimes if a man comes in with everything that he thinks he needs, then he doesn't even rely on God to even lead him and lead the
Yeah.
direction of the courtship.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I think it's awesome that you guys your journey is the way it is because it forces you to rely on him for everything.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. So with you all, like in the journey that you're in, when you talk about the fact that you still remain friends, even after you express, because that's amazing to me that you all remain friends even after you express feelings for each other. Now, what type of boundaries did you put in place knowing that you felt a certain way about each other?
All right. So once we felt a certain way about each other, starting our courtship, like we did start off a little rough. You know what I mean? I've never courted before. I knew what to do, the steps to court. You know what I'm saying? But I still wanted to please my flesh. You know what I mean? So
Right.
now, not and like what I'm about to explain. Everybody doesn't do this in their courtship, but there are like basic things in courtship that you shouldn't be doing. You know what I
Right.
mean? So far as like things that so when we was like still trying to we was like yo still figure out try to like all right cool, we like each other now, so we would let certain stuff happen like boo loving and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like no, we shouldn't have
Like
been doing
what?
boo loving,
What is
So
boo loving?
hugging.
explain what that is. Like you always
Oh,
do
I'm
that.
sorry.
You got everybody wondering what that means.
I mean, you from Maryland, right?
No,
Who
I'm
No,
in Miami, Florida.
Miami. Oh, my bad. Sorry,
is?
I thought you was from Maryland. My bad.
My
I'm
name
like,
is
oh, boo
Marilyn.
loving.
Would you
Right.
just explain what it is, please?
I'm about to have her block you while I finish this story. All right. So, it's just like, you know, like you hugging and stuff like that,
Uh-huh.
cuddled up. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
uh-huh.
Like,
Uh-huh.
you know, like cuddled up and stuff like that. You know, like holding hands and stuff like that.
Right.
Like
Long hugs.
kisses. We would do kisses on the cheek and stuff like that. But I remember I had went to and like we were saying that we were just friends, but it didn't look like that. It would
Right.
like it wouldn't look like that. So I was like, you know, I remember when I went to Hawaii and God had really convicted me. And God was basically like, look, like this is my daughter. So you gotta if you're gonna do this thing, then you're gonna do it the right way. So when I
Right.
got back, right, that you better say what you supposed to say, right? So when I got back, I remember I had just did a purity event, and me and B had hung out, and I said, look, like if we gonna court, then we gonna court the right way. Like we not holding hands no more. No, because I think I had already shut down the like cuddling up and stuff like that. Like we want to cuddle in no bed and nothing like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like you know, just like boo loving and stuff. Like I already shut that down. But holding hands, I shut that down too. I was just
Right.
like, no, like we not doing that either. You know what I mean? Because I was like, look, we gonna do this thing, we gonna do this thing right. So we had cut that out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And
I felt some type of way about it though, because I was already used to it. I was like, I still didn't know everything about courting, but I was like, I knew it was a lot of things we weren't going to be doing until we got married, or even
Right.
until well, up to that night I found out things that we couldn't do even until we got engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And it's different. I feel like it's different boundaries for certain, like, different couples who court. Like
Right.
our thing was to not kiss until we got married, because
Right.
the boundaries that were set with Jeremiah, knowing that could be a triggering for him to be put in a compromising situation. So I agreed to waiting with him. And then I was like, oh, this makes sense. I'm not even knowing that we were going to be together, but just thinking in another time, like, okay, even if, let's say, we weren't supposed to be together, like, I was still going to make that decision. Like, I'm not going to kiss nobody either until I got married.
Right.
Because
Right.
that's still something intimate and something still special that you're supposed to share with just
Right.
one person. Clearly,
Right.
because there's diseases you can even catch by kissing somebody. So
Mm-hmm.
might as well just
Yeah.
shut that all down.
Yeah. Okay. And so with your journeys getting to the place where you, Brandi, you're still 35, right?
Yeah.
30. Okay, so you're 35 as a virgin. Jeremiah, you're 28 as a virgin. Like, how do you get to that place where you continue to hold on to your virginity at that age? Because, you know, so many people give in. You know, you get to college, you get out on your own, you get out your parents' house, and, you know, you kind of just let loose a little bit. So what was it that kept you in a place where you actually committed to, you know, being a virgin and staying in that place until marriage?
For me, I just always wanted to wait till marriage. Like, I knew to wait. Like, I knew to wait. Period. Like, it's not nothing like, oh, I had to. But you know what? One thing, when I turned 25, I didn't really have. I wanted for myself a more explanation of why I wanted to wait, though. Not just because my parents waited, or not just because God wants us to wait. That's okay. I need to explain that. So I created a foundation for myself. You know what?
Right.
And I was just like, you know what? Because I am worth the wait. You know what I mean? Like, I have jewels and I have gems. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean something too. Like, I'm that dope. I'm that dope to be waited on.
Right. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think sometimes we, and I started saying this a few years ago, when even for me in my personal prayer time, God was like, my sons are the prize as well. Like, we go around and we tell women they're the prize, but men are the prize as well. Like, they are God's sons and they are just as valued as we are. And I think sometimes we push out this narrative where, you know, women are on this pedestal and, you know, they're the ones that, you know, we're going, they're the prize that you're trying to capture. But a man is also a prize. And I think a lot of men don't value the fact that they are valuable. Like, they don't see the fact that they are valuable. And so because they don't see that, they don't push themselves as valuable as well. And then even in you saying, you know, you had to know why you're waiting. I say it all the time. If you don't have a reason for why you're waiting, then it's more likely that you're not going to continue waiting. Because if you're just doing it just because, you know, your mom told you to do it, you heard it in Sunday school, there's no reason to hold on to that. Because at some point, you have to have a deeper reason why you're waiting. It's not just because they told you in Sunday school or your parents made you do it. Now you're an adult. Why are you still doing it? Because you can do it if you can stop, you know, holding on to it if you like, because you're a full grown adult. So you have to have a reason why you're waiting in doing that. So Brandi, like, what made you hold on to that place in your life?
I was taught to wait too, but growing up, basically seeing the results of not waiting was even more motivating. In my era anyway, with a lot of teen pregnancies and things happening around me really fast. My parents really grew me up to be a child. So I wasn't really all that experienced with like how other girls were. Like, I developed late. I was a late bloomer. So, like, you know, I wasn't in no training brawl till probably junior high, probably, like, you know, so a lot of girls around me were like advanced, and I didn't know anything about what they were advancing in. So that was more of the reality for me. I'm like, well, no. Then it was like, I'm gonna get in trouble if I try it. It'd be like, for me to try it, everything gonna go wrong. Like, I'm gonna get a disease and pregnant, all of the things, like just ruin everything for me. So I was like, nah, forget it. I'm not doing it. And then I think moving on more into the years, I felt like it was definitely a reason why, being at my age, God allowed me to be at this age to still be waiting, because it motivated a lot of other women who were either the same age or younger, like, this is possible. Like, this is possible. This isn't just a religious situation. It's really just guarding your body and really preserving it for somebody who you were going to end up spending the rest of your life with. Like, you don't want to be all worn out by the time he get to you. Then what? Like, and then you blaming him for not satisfying you because you got all these miles going on there. Like, you gotta think reasonable about things. Like, yes, it's definitely first and foremost something that I definitely take pride in, just pleasing God, not being boastful to man, but to please God on the decision I'm making. Is it an easy walk? I'm not going to say it's hard, only because you can only make it hard for yourself. You can only make it hard for yourself to put yourself in compromising situations. There's things that get you excited and aroused. So you need to stay away from them things. So I don't really necessarily say that it can be like really hard, but yeah, you do have to be mindful of things. Our bodies still react to things. But it's just a matter of being mindful and avoiding a lot of things that you can avoid. Like, you can't just blame it on, like, because he blew in my ear and he know that's my spot. And it just, you gotta, come on, you gotta keep it real with yourself. You really gotta know your boundaries, and you gotta know, the decisions you're gonna make, and you're gonna stick to them.
Right.
Like, I done waited all this time I done waited all this time. I'm finna just throw it all away off a moment, like a hot moment. Like, no, there's plenty of times where I know God has promised a lot of things to me. And because I have been obedient, I'm expecting those things.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. I'm so inspired by you all's story, and just like the way that God has done it. I think sometimes we take for granted our journey and our process. Like, it may not look like what everyone else's process looks like, but it's such a perfect process for the people that are involved in it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would love to close out with any words of encouragement that you all may have for the viewers, or anything that God just lays on your heart to just, speak to anyone that would see this video.
You want to go, babe? I'll go.
You can go.
All right. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, look, like I said before, how can you expect something and you didn't get started? I was telling a young lady, I said, you were supposed to have been write that book, and that book probably could have took you all over the world. You probably could have met him in LA. But you didn't get started in your purpose, so you're lacking the vision. Fellas, don't lack the vision. If you want wifey to come, then get started.
Amen.
I would probably share for the ladies, for those who are waiting, like, don't just sit around waiting. Like, turn your waiting into preparing, and enjoy preparing yourself. Like, enjoy still being single, enjoy still learning yourself, and just enjoy life. Like, there's things we wake up to every day that a lot of people can't wake up to and wish they could wake up to. So you can't just surround your mind around looking at the fact that you're single, meaning it's a bad thing. Singleness is a great thing. And I feel like a lot of people need to start really appreciating getting to know themselves first, so that once something comes across, that they can figure it out faster, rather than like putting time into something you don't know anything about, and then now you're disappointed, blaming the next person. Be happy with just waking up alive.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much. Please tell them where they can find you, all your social media handles.
You can follow the ministry at Sex Can Wait a While on Instagram, Sex Can Wait a While on Facebook. My personal page is on Instagram is Jared Chase. That's JereChase. I'm Jeremiah Chase on Facebook.
You can follow me on Instagram, Miss McCray, and on Facebook, Brandi McCray.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. It was such a pleasure to just interview both of you, and I pray that God pours out his richest blessings on you all and your ministry, and just continue to take you all over the world, because what you're doing is so needed, and it's so necessary. So I Waited family, I hope you enjoyed the interview. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe, share this video with everyone that you know, and check us out with any other videos. So there's plenty of other videos for you to watch on the channel. And just let me know what you think. If you have any questions, prayers, concerns, definitely email me at iwaitedblog@gmail.com. And then I'll leave the links below for t-shirts, the devotional, all those other good things, okay? All right, love you all. Talk to you later. Peace.